Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today with Creative Leaps. We're going to talk about the role of music therapy in our neurodiverse world. I want to acknowledge everyone involved in what we're doing today. Here we are gathered virtually as a community, thanks to all the work and effort made possible by the Family Cafe, their board members, their officers, volunteers, sponsors, presenters, and of course the family. I want to thank everyone in Creative Leaps. Our small group is always working together, even though we're apart. We're working together to fulfill our mission and help other wonderful organizations fulfill their missions. And I want to thank our community because even in these times where we need to have social distancing, we are still united by our kindness and our love. Creative Leaps. Learn, excel, achieve, perform, shine. You can find a lot of information about us on our website, creative-leaps.com. And just a little bit of our background. We were founded in 2015 as an LLC, and as of 2019, we have become a Florida nonprofit organization. And this year, we are working toward 501 status. Our mission is to provide therapeutic and enrichment programs where we use the power of music, music therapy, and other expressive arts as a way to reach self-discovery and self-expression and reach physical, cognitive, and social and emotional health and well-being. And we've done this with the collaboration of so many different programs and organizations out there listed right here, including Parkinson's Place, Gigi's Down Syndrome Center in Tampa, Gannon University in Ruskin, Autism Awareness Vocational Center in Tampa, ProTherapy Plus in Lutz, and there are so many more, all in these surrounding areas, people who are really trying to make the world a better place a little bit at a time. The Creative Leaps team is comprised of 4 officers. My name is Marian. I am a board-certified music therapist. I am the founder of Creative Leaps, and I'm the president. And I am also a mom. I am a homeschooler. I am an advocate for anyone who needs a voice, for anyone who deserves a voice. And I am a multi-instrumentalist. My primary instrument was my voice and the violin, but I also, as any music therapist, play a wide variety of instruments. And I keep learning new instruments as much as I can. I will continue to learn.
Hello, my name is Miles Dudley. I am the Vice President of Creative Leaps, and I wear many hats within the company. Some of my primary roles are administrative, scheduling, and financial responsibilities. I also do the adaptive lessons where I create a successful musical experience based off the individual's abilities. I also assist in many of the music therapy sessions and programs. My background in music has always been very passionate. I primarily play horns like trumpet, saxophone, and trombone, but I'm well versed in many other instruments as well. A big reason for this is because I've always been interested in composition, so understanding other instruments would help me better write music for anyone.
Hello, my name is Chris Romeo. I'm an officer of Creative Leaps and a program facilitator. I graduated from the University of South Florida with my bachelor and master's in music with an emphasis on vocal performance, and I got my music therapy degree from St. Mary of the Woods in Indiana. I have been singing with the St. Pete Opera Company for the past 10 years, and I am the artistic director of Diversity, the Voices of Sarasota. So my main instrument is voice, but learning through music therapy, I thoroughly enjoy learning all the different instruments that we get to utilize for all our clients.
Alex Montalvo is an officer for Creative Leaps, as well as our media specialist. Born and raised in Puerto Rico, Alex studied music at Interamerican University of Puerto Rico and computer science at Caribbean University. Alex's main instrument is percussion, including drum kit, congas, bongos, timbale, djembe, and more. Being a professional musician and working in marketing for 10 years, Alex was extremely happy to join the Creative Leaps team to help people through music.
So let's get started. We're going to start by talking about music therapy, defining music therapy, talking a little bit about the history of music and how it became music therapy, where we stand right now as a profession, and then stick around because we'll have some examples and some of them you'll be able to participate in. Right now I want to talk about the history of music and music therapy in particular. And I start by talking about the fact that our ancestors were making musical instruments 35,000 or more years ago. These are ancestors who their lives were at stake. They had predators after them. And yet, since society was building itself, bonds were being made and communication was becoming more complex. Music was necessary to be a part of this society. We have a lot of philosophers who have made a lot of contributions to music and the arts. Pythagoras says there is geometry in the humming of the strings, there is music in the dancing of the spheres. So we understand the vibration and the physics of music and how it has so much to do with our lives. In 1789 is when we first have documentation of the scientific method used to understand the role of music in therapy. And as time went by, we were able to identify music therapy as a career. And now today we have two major entities overseeing music therapy: Certification Board for Music Therapists and the American Music Therapy Association. And those have been around since the 80s, but music therapy has been around for a long time. Music therapy is defined as the clinical and evidence-based use of music interventions to accomplish individualized goals within a therapeutic relationship by a credentialed professional who has completed an approved music therapy program. In order to work as a music therapist, you have to have a bachelor's degree in music therapy or higher, or you can do the equivalency music therapy program, which requires a previous bachelor's degree in an approved program. And you also have to be certified through the board certification for music therapists. Music therapy is for everyone, every walk of life. You do not have to be a musician. You do not have to have any musical inclinations in order to receive music therapy. It's like any other therapy. We work with children, babies, adults, older adults, hospice. We work with a variety, the whole lifespan, providing music therapy interventions to help you. Music therapists work in a variety of settings, from home-based care to schools, nursing and rehab facilities, hospitals, correctional facilities, private practice. You'll find a music therapist anywhere where therapy is needed. And very commonly, music therapists will co-treat with other healthcare professionals. You may have heard of Representative Gabrielle Giffords, who was sadly shot and lost her ability to walk and talk. With music therapy, along with speech and language pathology and occupational therapy, she was able to regain her ability to speak through singing. But it doesn't end there. We also collaborate with other disciplines, physical therapy, occupational therapy. These two examples are visible here. Physical therapy working on gait parameters, the ability to walk. And you can see the music therapist holding an auto harp. And then you can see in the picture on the right, a music therapist in a school setting working with an OT on range of motion and cognitive skills. And last but not least, one of my mentors, Sarah Johnson, seen playing the auto harp at the Center for Biomedical Research in Music at Colorado State University. With the collaboration of her expertise and the physical therapist Ruth Rice, also pictured here, they have created the neurologic music therapy techniques that we use today. And the big question is, but what do music therapists actually do? I like this quote by Igor Stravinsky. Music is the coordination between man and time. For what is music but sound in time? Well, let's dive in and look at some of the non-musical goals we work on when we do music therapy. In music therapy, we often work to improve speech, language, communication, and respiratory function. The following clips will give you some examples of some of the exercises we use to help a nonverbal client learn to communicate with his father through music. Sometimes we work with clients who are nonverbal, but this does not mean that they can't communicate. They have a lot they want to communicate, and oftentimes music gives them a lot of tools to express themselves. This is a great way to initiate that conversation and to create bonds with family and friends. We see immediately that this client is very interested in the accordion. So we're going to use this to our advantage. Since he liked the accordion so much, every time we stop, he's encouraged to vocalize I. And as an immediate reward, we have the music. This parent in particular plays the guitar, as you can see, but when they started coming to my sessions, he didn't know exactly how to use the guitar to help his son. But as you can see, he caught on pretty quickly. It was a joy to be able to see them bond with music.
It was such a blast getting to utilize the guitar to help build a bond, a communication bond between the father and son.
Hi. Hello.
As the sessions continued, I started to provide him with more vocabulary, and I always paired it with sign language. This allows the client to learn new vocabulary in order to express themselves and express their wants and needs. And with music, learning vocabulary is just fun and easy. I just wanna play with you, play with you, and now we're
else to Daddy? Can we pass it over to Daddy?
Good job.
Thank you very much. We're gonna take turns, we're gonna take turns, cause that's what it's all about. We're gonna take turns, we're gonna take turns, and now it's...
Another example of a goal we might work on in music therapy is speech articulation. Miles is going to share a little bit about what we did with one of our clients.
Using brass instruments in a music therapy setting was very exciting when I first got to experience it, and it really helped the individual we were working with achieve their goals. When we first started working with this client, he had trouble pronouncing the letter M and the letter P. When he first tried to say the word trumpet, he would pronounce it drumhead. He had no M or P. So what we did was we used the brass mouthpieces, the trombone being bigger, and the trumpet mouthpiece being a little smaller, to help him close his lips together. Eminem, 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 Eminem.
The following audio clip provides an example of one of the exercises we made using technology. We made an original composition using GarageBand to work on fluency while trying to pronounce different contractions in speech.
I couldn't, I wouldn't, I couldn't stop the music. The next one is didn't, couldn't, two, ready, and I didn't, I couldn't, I didn't, I couldn't, I didn't, I couldn't, I didn't stop the music. The next one is...
With my background in voice and vocal pedagogy, Creative Leaps allowed me to work with our Parkinson patients in leading their voice, articulation, and respiratory exercises. You know, going from teaching singers to sing perfectly to teaching everyday people just how to utilize their voice properly without hurting it, how to strengthen it, how to coordinate it, and how to maintain it. It really puts into perspective how important the voice is, not just for professional singers, but for everyday people, just to be able to express themselves and communicate with their loved ones.
Music therapists also work on gross and fine motor goals. Those include coordination, strength, range of motion, endurance, and sensory motor integration. A lot of instruments give us a lot of opportunities to work on those fine motor skills. String instruments in particular require you to move those fingers individually. The piano, too, is a good example. This requires coordination and control of your fingers. But there's other instruments you can use besides string instruments. A lot of percussion instruments require you to work on your pincer grasp or different kinds of grips. Those are necessary for dressing, for using utensils, pencils, etc.
These two fingers, one and two. Yeah, there you go. Two fingers. Very good. Let's switch fingers. Middle finger. Oh, yes, very good. Middle finger.
One of my favorite gross motor exercises that we utilize at Creative Leaps for Parkinson clients, this is where we give every client in the group one instrument and a specific task to help work a gross motor skill. Then when all the clients do their task with the instrument at the same time, it creates a song. It sounds like a fun musical experience while they're working extremely hard.
Having a strong, consistent rhythm that can be heard and felt by the individuals in a group is one of the things that allows a structured organization to the world around them. And an example that I enjoyed participating in is when we were taking turns with instruments on one side of the room, which provided a structured rhythm to the entire room, while one individual at a time would go through a musical obstacle course. They would have to pick up their feet or balance in certain ways, sit on a ball and strike an instrument so that they were still really engaged musically, along with hearing the steady rhythm.
So far we've covered speech, language, respiratory function, gross and fine motor control. And now let's talk a little bit more about the cognitive function goals and how we use music to help with attention, memory, and executive function. Let's do a quick exercise to see how your attention span is. This is sustained attention. So as the music changes, your playing should change. Go ahead and go grab a pot or something, or clap along, or tap your feet. But make sure you stay with the music. A new day has begun. A new day has begun. You can hear our music and our song, shining like the sun. Shining like the sun. You can hear our sound and play along. Whoa.
We're going to do a little long-term memory exercise right now. I'm going to sing a little snippet of a famous song, and I need you to fill in the blank. So if I were to sing, "Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are." All right, how about, "Can you feel the love tonight?" And last one, "Somewhere over the rainbow." Now to take that a next step, you can think about what memories do those songs bring back? How do they make you feel? And what were you doing when you first heard those songs? And those are some way to help recall some of your long-term memories. So now we're going to do memory exercise. I'm going to give you a theme or a topic, and we will put it into a musical parameter, just like you would memorize a phone number, 1-800-123-4567. So you put that in a musical parameter so it helps us memorize it. So our theme is going to be instruments. Let's start with trumpet. We're going to clap that together. Ready? Here we go. Trumpet. Let's add another one. How about sousaphone? Sousaphone. Let's put those together. Trumpet, sousaphone. All right, let's add bass drum. Here we go from the beginning. Trumpet, sousaphone, bass drum. Let's add in a string instrument. How about violin? Trumpet, sousaphone, bass drum, violin. Okay, how about a woodwind? Flute. From the top, here we go. Trumpet, sousaphone, bass drum, violin, flute. Let's add one more. Clarinet. Here we go. Trumpet, sousaphone, bass drum, violin, flute, clarinet. And one more. Let's go back to woodwinds. How about, Let's do string. Cello. Here we go. Trumpet, sousaphone, bass drum, violin, flute, clarinet, cello. Alrighty, now that we have our musical parameter, let us take out some of the words but still clap the whole thing, just not speak some of the words. Let's take out the string instruments. From the top, here we go. Trumpet, sousaphone, bass drum, flute, clarinet. Good job. So let's put back in those string instruments and let's take out the woodwinds. From the top, trumpet, sousaphone, bass drum, violin, cello. Great job.
Last but not least, music therapists work on psychological, social, and behavioral goals.
One of our most successful and most enjoyable programs that we offer is our rock band social skills group. So they learn to take turns, they learn to communicate with music, playing loud or soft or faster or slower. All of these things come into play, and without even using words, it gives them a sense of belonging that they've never felt before because they can be heard through music.
It's amazing to see how the concept of a rock band helps our clients work with and collaborate with each other, listen to and respect each other, all while learning about new and exciting instruments. It's super exciting to see clients
Parkinson's disease is a neurodegenerative disease that affects every aspect of life. We lost a dear friend at this location, and we were all very sad. We ended up doing a songwriting exercise to process the loss of our good friend, and also for people that didn't know her could still participate in the songwriting process, because what we were doing is grieving. And when you're grieving something, it could be a number of different things. It could be loss of a friend, or it could be that you've recently been diagnosed with a life-altering disease. All participated in identifying what was important about this individual, what is important about grief, and how can we keep going? How can we continue on our day-to-day?
Saying goodbye closes a chapter. You taught us well, you gave us laughter.
You gave us memories, you made us strong. So we'll remember you with this song.
with exercise, kindness, and love. You motivated us to rise above. Sometimes life gives us a trial. You taught us to do it with a smile. When the words fail, we'll just play. When the words fail, we'll just sing. I have Parkinson's disease. The disease doesn't have me. Exercise, kindness, and love. You motivated us to rise above. Sometimes life gives us a trial. You taught us to do it with a smile.
When the words fail, we'll just sing. I have Parkinson's disease. The disease doesn't have me. When the words fail, we'll just play. When the words fail, we'll just sing. I have Parkinson's disease. The disease doesn't have me. The disease doesn't have me.
Ok, ¿qué tienes allí?
Una calimba.
Una calimba. A ver cómo suena. Ok. ¿Y qué vas a tocar?
Bueno, parte de una canción que solo puedo hacer una partecita de una canción.
Ok, ¿cómo va esa partecita?
Eso es todo.
¿Eso es todo? ¿Y cómo lograste eso?
Por escucharla
¿Ah, sí?
mucho y encontré cómo hacerlo en la calimba. Encontré la manera de hacerlo.
Muchas gracias.
De nada.
Well, all good things come to an end, and we have come to the end of our presentation. We can't thank you enough for the time you've taken to listen to our songs and our music and everything we want to share. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Make sure you keep music in your lives.
Once again, I am Chris Romeo with Creative Leaps, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for watching our presentation.
Thank you all for taking the time to listen and learn about all these wonderful entities that have come together. Please take an opportunity to have music in your life in some way, shape, or form. It can just be for you. It's never too late and you're never too old to learn music. It is a part of everybody. Everyone has the ability. Thank you. Have a great day.
For more information about Creative Leaps, please check out our website, creative-leaps.com. More information about music therapy, you can go to the AMTA website or CBMT